a few violations as we're getting started. Those of you guys are seeing me a lot lately. I do not wear the same clothes. I just have the same clothes. I have like the same things 5 times over. So there's that. All right. Secondly, I look a mess right now, so I had to throw on the glasses. All right. I have to get this out. Third violation, I am late. I am late and it's not fully completed, but I'm getting back into my groove. Okay, so I do want to kind of let you guys see here what I have gathered thus far. But I'm chalking this whole month of June. I'll be back in July. However, June 11th, on June 11th, the descendant was in Aquarius at 16 degrees in the 7th house. All right, so behind the scenes, 7 of Swords energy, we will experience restless energy, okay? So this is giving high levels of energy, which can lead to anxiety, destruction, blackouts, burnouts, or worse, a mental breakdown that can be indicated here. The descendant in astrology represents that hidden force, okay, controlling everything. The descendant in astrology plays the role of the thief in the night. And with this high level of energy being exerted in the 10th house towards career, status, money, power, respect, and gaining achievements, I can certainly see how this can play out as a mental breakdown and or physical burnout. Me personally, I was experiencing a physical burnout and I'm bouncing back. Okay. This also applies to the amount of electricity we humans use. The descendant in Aquarius is within the 2nd decan that is ruled by Mercury. Before we proceed, shall I? Yes, indeed. This also indicates, again, an overwhelming threat of an electricity or technical blackout, but this could also indicate exerting a lot of mental power in studies and intellectual pursuits. This can even indicate being burned out with all the information you are intaking and or required to intake at this time. With this energy in the 7th house of relationships, basically it appears as if there is a lot of energy being exerted into working and everything that falls underneath that umbrella. And your relationship or potential relationships are suffering or just non-existent due to that. It's interesting because initially I typed this placement with the 10th house on accident. So basically I wrote out that the descendant was in Aquarius in the 10th house instead of in the 7th house. And again, the descendant is always in the 7th house. All right. So that I found very strange, but it was not a coincidence, right? People are overriding relationships, and I do feel like with this energy, it's important ones. They're overriding important relationships for work. All right. That's nothing new under the sun, but that's pretty much the theme that's going on at this time. Back to my script. I basically wrote out the Aquarius, the descendant in Aquarius in the 10th house instead of the 7th. And it wasn't until I got to the midheaven in Taurus in the 10th house that I realized that I had made a mistake. I made an error. I got frustrated and had to come back and retype this energetically with the descendant. And that's probably why I didn't complete it, because I was frustrated at the time that I wrote this. So yeah, there's frustration at this time in regards to people's jobs and careers and things like that. And or relationships are bringing out frustration, all right, due to there's no balance, okay? Back to my script. So, the energy is being exerted into career. As for others who are focusing all of their energy into their career, potential relationships are lacking and or suffering due to that. This placement is also like having a Venus in Aquarius, and that combination isn't necessarily compatible. There are a lot of underlying insecurities, incompatibilities, restlessness about relationships with others, and which is all hiding behind the ascendant that is in Leo. I don't think that the ascendant is in Leo currently, but again, I just have to backtrack, okay, before I can proceed. All right, shall I? Yes, indeed. The ascendant in Leo was giving off a stay away from me energy and keeping people at arm's length, and that is very necessary. However, this could ruin possibly a good thing with someone and or a group. It reminds me of someone specifically. However, we're both in the spiritual community and we both don't trust anyone, okay? This makes it hard for us even to connect and etc. because we both have the guards up, because we understand that we can't trust, right? And all right, so neither of us are going to address it because we understand, but as a result, I can foresee that the potential relationship or friendship, etc., will never form. There's an equally indifferent energy towards people at this time. And keep in mind, I wrote this report back in May. So I wrote this back in May. So there's that. It's June 11th. I'm sorry, June 15th as I'm getting this out. So, which is very accurate. I was accurate, okay? Anyway, the ascendant is in Leo at 16 degrees in the first house. And the quote, "Life is a beach, and I'm just playing in the sand," comes to mind. No wonder I was getting beach vibes in tarot. Anyway, after we just spoke on the descendant in Aquarius and the fact that there was a lot of mental energy being exerted, damn near to the point of a mental breakdown, well, with the ascendant in Leo, this indicates a vacation that is being taken or a vacation that is needed at this time for some. Interestingly enough, I saw some girl that lives in my building. She brought out her briefcase or her suitcase. She took a trip. She left. Okay, so that was in alignment. And again, I wrote this back in May. So this energy is at play. All right, so a vacation may be needed at this time here. So let me get back to my script. The ascendant in Leo is within the second decan that Jupiter rules. There is an overwhelming need and or want to rebel at this time. This can play out for some where they are tired of being sick and tired, working hard as hell in the 10th house and not getting the same energy back. This will prompt a rebellion. Okay, this rebellion can go viral on social media, possibly. All right, that's at the highest level. Now, this can also indicate a strike or some kind of movement that takes center stage during this time. But again, that could also be on a larger scale. And actually, that is actually happening right now. Donald Trump, my boy. Anywho, the way you or others are viewing life at this time can come from a scattered brain place or an unorganized place. Nonetheless, this energy is freedom-seeking, free-spirited, ambitious, excited, and of course, rebellious. Well, all of this proud energy with a cause in the first house of Aries, well, let's just say no justice, no peace. This energy can also indicate badass children or adults who act like children coming out to play. Due to the mental imbalances going on with the descendant in Aquarius and the energies being restless, this energy has to go somewhere. So this can manifest as fights, abuse, bullying, recklessness, entitlement, and selfishness. I personally was bullied yesterday on the road by a grown man. So this absolutely is at play for me, okay? They want to bully me. Basically, people are stressed out and resorting to taking their frustrations out on you. 2 examples I'd like to give. I had to reprimand a little kid at the park who was fishing, who I observed found great pleasure in throwing rocks at birds. The father was too busy smoking and probably stressed out about something that he claimed to have not been able to witness his son throwing rocks at the time. So in other words, the father was so distracted, and I'm sure was distracted with stress, that he was not able to notice that his son was committing an atrocity against birds. All right. So that's the example of the badass kid who needs to find something more active and productive to do. My second example would be of the grown adult kid. All right, I was driving a car, okay? I was driving in a car, come speeding up behind me, riding my ass. I responded by pumping my brakes multiple times, and he got amped up. He took it as a challenge and proceeded to ride my ass further. Then he showed signs of being mad and upset and decided to come to the side of my car. I didn't engage, but I was confused as to how a grown man can ride a car's ass tail, then get mad when someone attempts to place boundaries. You are a grown man. Why are you trying to bully a woman in a moving vehicle and in traffic? Again, this was written in May. I was bullied just yesterday. That was a bar. So the energy is still at play. I'm pretty sure if I had a man in my car, that whole scenario wouldn't have happened. All right. But that is my point with this energy. People want to be seen. They want to play games, and they have nothing better or productive to do with their restlessness. Now, in the spiritual community, they say an idle mind is the devil's territory. All that restlessness, built up, pent up, and stressed up mental energy, the devil is having a field day in the weak minds of others at this time. Beware and stay away. Now, the midheaven is currently, or it was, in Taurus at 13 degrees in the 10th house. Before I even get started, just looking at this positioning of the planets could very well explain further where the hidden and underlying restlessness energy with the descendant in Aquarius is deriving from. The midheaven is heavily associated with the 10th house, Saturn, and Capricorn. Themes of achievement, career, financial earnings, status, family, age, reputation, and work ethic, okay, are highlighted here. The midheaven is in the sign of Taurus, the sign that deals with business, big business, resources, assets, comforts, mixing in with the 10th house of Capricorn. This indicates wealth, abundance, and merit for your hard work. This essentially is a good thing. All right, right, wrong. All right, I don't know what I meant by that, but anywho, moving forward. If we dig into this deeper, most including myself get frustrated, burned out, and break down over our careers and life work, especially when we feel we are exerting energy and giving out all of our time and energy and getting nothing in return. Meanwhile, others who do less, know less, receive more. Emphasis on when you know more, you receive less. The midheaven in Taurus is within the second decan that Mercury rules. Here, I can see that some people work really hard to be detail-oriented, prompt, socially inclined, and a perfectionist. For some, you have artistic and or scientific talents that you may feel set you apart. Meanwhile, you are not getting the recognition. Refer back to the ascendant in Leo in the first house. Now, if this scenario resonates with you, you may be feeling the descendant in Aquarius in the 7th house energy strongly. And to reiterate, you or others are feeling indifferent towards relationships due to career, money, and or family matters. I've noticed that the midheaven just made it into the second decan that is ruled by Mercury. So with that in mind, there are still some past traits and energies still there from the first decan. Nothing changes overnight, right? There's some residual energy of materialism, pleasure seeking, and extroverted vibes still being battled. The will is still strong in the first decan, as always. It just depends on how the strong will is applied as we energetically enter into the second decan that Mercury rules. Again, the midheaven in the 10th house is all about your work ethic, your success, achievements, family name, and retirement, all of which take a lifetime to build. Time is of the essence. In order to make it to the end, your mind has to be right. Okay, your mind, aka Mercury, depends on it. Where there is a will, there is a way. But also, what is your passion? What and or who are you so passionate about that you can work for the remainder of your life? What skill, trade, or spiritual gift do you have that you can rely on for the long term that you're passionate about? Because only then your will be activated. This is like if this is a relationship, do you think if this is a relationship, do you think the one that you're in a relationship with or potentially thinking about do you see any beneficial long-term growth there or the lack thereof? Would being single, be sustainable for the long term? Are you passionate about being alone? Also with family. In the event you become successful, are you willing and passionate about sharing that with your family? Is there a family business that you're considering, whether you want to maintain or to go in a different route? This energy is all about the long term with the midheaven in Taurus at 13 degrees in the 10th house, okay? It's basically to kind of clean that back up. It's just like, whatever you're passionate about or whatever it is that you're doing, like, is it sustainable? Is this something that you can do forever? Is this a relationship that you can see yourself in forever? Is this a craft, a skill, a profession, whatever, a gift that you can maintain and be passionate about forever? That's pretty much the vibe. Now, we have the IC in Scorpio at 13 degrees in the 4th house. This energy suggests a death possibly, and or some kind of inheritance with the midheaven in Taurus. Hopefully not the death part. However, this also indicates at your core that there is indeed some kind of skill, talent, or spiritual gift that is within your bloodline. All right, so it's giving secrets are being revealed, okay? In your roots, this energy has personally been active. Whoa, hold up. If you have any spiritual gifts that is within your bloodline and aka in your roots, period. Moving on. This energy has personally been active in my life, much stronger these days. As we discussed with the midheaven in Taurus, having Mercury undertones, I need to work hard on my mental focus and to develop my spiritual gifts. Taurus and Scorpio polarities indicate hidden talents. This can even be a hidden passion of yours that is something your family / ancestors were heavily known for. The IC, like the descendant, is hidden energy. But to be in the sign of a secretive, or to be in the sign of secretive Scorpio, there's some deep, dark family secrets indicated here. This is hidden or otherwise unknown, okay? This can also discuss a disturbed individual or some kind of secret, okay? Now, this could also, it could also be this, right? But it could also be a hidden secret about yourself. Whenever you start to decline or feel disturbed emotionally, that means you are not honoring or in alignment with whatever your roots are urging you to do. This also gives me some kind of occult ties that are passed down. So for example, I have occult ties within my bloodline, okay? So whenever I allow myself to get distracted and start slacking on my studies with my occult abilities, I start to feel burned out and emotionally disturbed, right? Sure, we all know that a job, all right, that does not feel like a job, all right, but this energy kind of feels like a defining moment to choose to make that happen, all right? So basically digging deep to find a way, a will again. This can also indicate a hidden will and or an inheritance, okay? So many possibilities, but this can also just be a deep desire to retire at this time. All right, so the IC in Scorpio in the 4th house, it's just a lot of deep-rooted desires, needs, wants coming to the forefront, a lot of hidden talents coming to the forefront, and truths. You know, I mentioned that I was burned out and I just exposed my damn self. Like when I know I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, like when I don't do astrology, when I don't do tarot consistently, when I don't work out, when I don't eat and things like these are things that I need to have, right? If I don't do those things, I'm going to start to feel burned out, or I'm going to start to suffer a emotional breakdown or even a mental one, right? I know myself, I know the signs. So it's just kind of like, that's pretty much what's going on with the IC and Scorpio. Some disturbances may come up emotionally, mentally, spiritually, financially, because you're not honoring something. It's like, I think I did a reading recently on YouTube, and I said something along the lines, I think it was a crow call actually, and it was something along the lines of like, you're not doing something you know you need to do. Like, so that was causing a problem, all right? And this placement also will be felt deeply for those who claim to be chosen and are on a chosen path. You can't be calling yourself chosen and this and that, and you don't want to adhere to what chosen, you don't want to adhere to instruction from, from who you're chosen by, right? So this is that energy at this time, all right? It's not going to be a comfortable energy, all right? Now, lastly, because this is all I was able to finish, the sun is in Taurus at 26 degrees in the 10th house. I wonder if the sun is in Gemini at this time. Moving forward, strong, stubborn energy is felt and seen here. It's like knowing you need to do something and refusing. Okay, boom. The bull is not moving or is moving very slow. This could also be due to the fact that your will is not strong. You are not passionate about whatever or wherever your energy is being exerted. This is seen and felt with the sun in Taurus in the 10th house. Now, of course, this will not be the case for everyone. Others were able to dig deep with the IC and Scorpio and find their passion, what will empower their will and to, empower their will to make a way for the long haul. This energy can even indicate a commitment of some sort. With the IC and Scorpio, I mentioned retirement. Well, with the sun in Taurus in the 10th house, this can indicate looking for a relationship that will be stable and dependable with someone, that is just as ambitious as you. This is also a strong, or there will also be a strong focus and determination energy here, okay? Now, due to the 3rd decan that Saturn rules at this time, all right, if this has nothing to do with a relationship, this energy also indicates that stubborn energy surrounding a career or how energy is being exerted, okay? That may be draining or could become beneficial to you. It just depends who I'm talking to. Now, it truly depends on the individual, crazy. All right, so if you were able to dig deep with the IC and Scorpio and you found your passion, well, the sun in Taurus, you will be able to work through all obstacles. Now, for the latter, okay, if you were unsuccessful, with finding your passions, you will continue to be subjugated to societal restrictions and restraints. exerting your time and energy for someone else, building their legacy bigger and stronger, all for a buck or some type of temporary comfort. All right, I hope that wasn't too choppy. But that was all I was able to finish. All right, the moon was also in Pisces at 7 degrees in the 7th house, but the last time I checked, the moon was in Pisces in the 8th house. Again, I'm going to be picking back up like full force in July 1st. So I'll see you guys then. All right, bye.